Hey, what is going on, people? This is Earl Detenchi, and I'm back for another TMNT Rant Rave review. On this episode entitled TCRI. So it starts out with the Turtles, in the patrol buggy, chasing after the Krang. Krang's got the power cell. Turtles are trying to figure out what they needed for, trying to follow the Krang. They get into an altercation while on the streets. You see some people, almost getting ran over. I mean, it's basically a straight up, high speed chase involving go-karts and it looks like they got a hang on the patrol buggy this time around, because there was no real issues other than one of the turtles cracking their phone. and after one of them takes a picture of this symbol, Donatello is kind of stuck on what it is. He's seen it before, and everybody's making a joke. They're thinking it's like the Olympic symbol and all that, and no, it turns out it's the symbol that we've seen before, TCRI, and it kind of makes a reference to TGRI. TGRI was actually the chemical company responsible for creating the ooze that mutated the Turtles and Splinter in the first place. In this case, you have the Krang using that building as their main base of operations, creating everything from their machines to the portal to Dimension X. And we actually see one of the inhabitants of Dimension X make an appearance, besides the Krang. The main plot of the Krang actually is to create a world, their world on Earth, basically created like Dimension X is. And from the looks of things, it's a very toxic place to everyone else. To be expected, because they can't really live outside of their mechanical bodies, and they're trying to make Earth, basically their home, and it looks like do any means necessary. You see them operating on the machines. You see a very it's a one hit story. There's no subplot, nothing like that, and you find out at the end that they weren't really after April's dad. They were after her. Reason being, we don't know yet. But what do you think they were after? The Turtles have gone through so much to get to this spot and this time in this story, and to find out that they weren't really after April's dad, but they were after April, I think was a pretty good twist. But what exactly do they need her for? My guess would be because of her abilities to basically sense things. If you remember back in the Monkey Bone episode, she was able to sense that the monkey mutant that was made by the evil professor that later on became the Rat King was actually, used to be a human. She was able to sense that in some way. So I think that's what they might be after. They might be after her for her abilities. Plus the fact that she is shown so much promise as a Konoichi, that maybe they see that in her. This is just a theory. Now, when I saw that portal to Dimension X, I remember seeing a picture on the TMNT Facebook page of the Stone Soldier, and it did have a name. I just can't remember it. If anybody can let me know if they've seen this episode, what that name would be, I appreciate it. I remember in the original series that Krang actually had Stone Soldiers as well as other types of aliens under his command. So that's probably why this one showed up, because this thing was big. It was just looking like it just came out of a volcano. Awesome fight between Leatherhead and the Krang. I mean, Leatherhead is the freaking man. Leatherhead is the freaking mutant. You feel me? And you know what, they left it at a pretty. I don't generally like cliffhangers. I do not like cliffhangers, you know, because the anticipation for the next coming week can be a little hard, especially if they end it at a very like exciting point. Like, what the heck is gonna happen now? But TCRI, Leatherhead just straight up, he's just getting it in, just, you know, kicking butt, taking names, but trying to remember who he is. The fact that, you know, that him and the Turtles are, you know, are friends. They do a few jokes involving Donatello's face being basically smushed like a rag doll through Leatherhead's big palms, and it's a pretty this one was actually pretty action packed. Like I've said before in past episodes of my rants, this has not disappointed. This entire show has really just gotten me excited for every episode, and even though some are stronger than others, I do believe that this one was very strong. I mean, they obviously went with the, you know, with the one-liners and the puns and things like that, but that's what they do. But they didn't really focus on that. They were trying to focus more on the mission than anything else. And to have it with that cliffhanger, what do you think they need April for? I already gave you my theory. What do you think they need April for? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think? You know, and who would you want to come through the portal next? Because obviously you know it's going to be used again. But I would like to see. And someone had asked a while ago, who would you like to see in the who would you like to see from the original series come back again in this reboot? I gotta say the Neutrinos. I want to see the Neutrinos, even though they were a bunch of rambunctious teens, you know, that lived on Dimension X but rebelled against what Dimension X stood for, which was all this killing and warfare and all this stuff. They just wanted to have, they just wanted to have fun, you know. But I think in this case, if the Neutrinos were to come back, they'd probably be, of course, they would probably be a resistance, but probably a little bit more mature, since this seems to be going that route. I mean, you got something for kids, and you got something for the old school fans, and you got something for pretty much everybody. So, if the Neutrinos were to come back, I would probably say yes, they would still be rambunctious teens, but they would be a straight up resistance movement. That would be, but that would be my guess. What do y'all think? What do you think of this episode? Who do you want to see come back in the from the portal next, if they use it anytime soon, which I think they will? And what do you think they'll need April for? This is a big twist in the plot. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, I am Elder Tenchi. Peace, love, and never be normal.